guys, it's Katie. You may know me from Arts for Youth, where I teach visual arts and clay creations. Today I'm making this video to show you how to make clay at home and all the things we can do with it. Are you ready to start? Let's go. Okay everyone, so the first thing you need to have is your parents' permission because we will be making this on the stove. So make sure you have that first, and then you can get a pot, some water, cornstarch, and baking soda. So as it's cooking, you can see that it starts to kind of gather up on itself, and you want to wait until it makes a whole ball inside the pan. So as you can see, my dough has formed a ball now, so I'm going to put it onto a plate. Just going to scoop it off onto a plate. Okay. You can actually use another spoon to scoop the rest of it off here. And now you need to take a damp face cloth, not wet, not kind of wet, but damp, okay? I wrung out all of the water, it's just a little wet, and cover the ball of clay. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it is steaming and is quite warm, so you want to be very careful while doing this. Just cover the ball of clay with a damp face cloth and let it cool. It'll take about 20 minutes. Okay, so the clay has cooled and I have made it into a ball, which we can work with. As you can tell, it's a little cracky, so it's different from the regular clay that we would use at the camp or clay that you would buy at a ceramic store. But it still dries really well, and the super white color is great for painting afterwards. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I have cardboard down because when you work with clay, you want a surface that won't stick. So usually cardboard, plastic bag, if you have canvas, that would be ideal, but we're working with what we got here at home. So one of the things we can do is we can make a slab, and if you don't have a rolling pin at home, that's fine. You can just use your hands. What I do is I make it into a ball first, and then I kind of just squish it down flat in my hands, and then I'll just keep turning and twisting in my hands to flatten the clay. In ceramics, this is called a slab of clay. So I'm just gonna press it down into my cardboard, and then I'm gonna flip it and press just to make it a little more thin. You don't wanna make it too thin though, because then that will be a problem if it decided to crack later. As you can see, it's sticking a little bit, that's okay. So I'm just gonna squish it flat one more time, kind of loosen it for my cardboard. And for my tools, I will be using a butter knife, so please use your parents' permission first. I will cut a slab or a rectangle from my clay. Just cutting a rectangle out. And on this rectangle, you can do whatever you want. You can think of it like a little canvas, and you can paint on it after or draw on it after. You can imprint some different things. Like I have these fake lavender bushels, so I can just press those into the clay and see what kind of texture I get. That's pretty cool looking. Or if you have a little pet, you can even try to put their paw print into the clay. Okay, so that's one thing you can do with a slab of clay. The other thing you can do, I'm just gonna re-squish this one, is you can use a cookie cutter. Actually, mine is pretty big, so let me get more clay here. So again, I'm going to make a slab of clay by pressing the clay between my hands first to make it as flat as I can get in my hands. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Just gonna squish it flat as well as I can between my hands. Okay, and then clean off my cardboard a bit. Put it down on my cardboard, maybe squish it a few more times. Okay, let's see if it's big enough. Oh, it is. Great. I'm going to use my little gingerbread man cookie cutter. Press them all the way down. Take off the extra clay. And kind of loosen it from my cookie cutter. And gently push them out. And I have my little gingerbread man, which I can paint after. Or I can use like the back of my paintbrush, and you can even make a hole through him if you want to use it as a Christmas ornament after. You just string some ribbon through his head after you're done painting him and hang him up. So the other thing I wanted to show you, let me squish my clay here. And that's the other thing you might notice if you have taken ceramics class with me before, is that I can keep re-squishing my clay because it's not ceramic clay, it's homemade clay. So it's a little different. So the thing I'm going to show you now is called a pinch pot. So what I have is a ball of clay, and I'm going to take my hand and use it to make a pot. So my thumb is going to go right in the middle and pretty deep in, but not all the way down. So as you can see, I made a hole right here in the middle of my thumb, and now these fingers are going to stay together and press the outside to flatten it. So I have my thumb in the middle, and I'm just going to very gently squish and turn my pot until it starts to open up. And now that it's opened up a little bit, it's cracked over here a little bit, that's okay. I'm just going to put it on the cardboard so I know it has a nice flat bottom and it can stand up. I'm just going to keep going around the edges very, very gently and squishing it until I have a pot that I like. Now, as you can see, it's a little cracky and a little wavy, and that's okay because this type of dough is a little dry. So what you can do is just work with the cracks. I'm going to use a fork and just go around the edge and kind of make this little design to hide the cracks. Because in the art world, you work with what you got. And if a mistake happens, that's okay. You just keep building from it. Then the outside, I can even make some cool imprints. Let's see here. The back of my pen, maybe make some polka dots all around the outside. And now I have this cool little bowl. Now I have to remind you that this bowl cannot have food in it, okay? It's only for decorating, so you can put jewelry in it or maybe some cat treats in it, but you can't put food that you're going to eat, okay? The last thing I want to show you is called the coil technique. So what you do is you get some clay. I'm going to just squish it all together so it's all uniform and it feels all the same. That's all I'm doing. And I am going to roll a coil. So first I'm going to start with my hands, and I'm going to go all the way from my palm all the way to my fingertips. So I'm going to go in one motion back and forth, because if you go just halfway, then you're going to have a triangle, which is okay. You can still work with that. But to make a coil, you want to go all the way back and forth, up and down. Just get it going. And then you can put it on your cardboard or your work area and start from the middle, and you're gonna roll in and out. Again, you wanna go all the way from your fingertips all the way to the bottom of your hand. So you go all the way back and forth. I have a very small work area here, so it's kind of hard for me to go all the way and show you on camera. But I'm gonna try. Oop, and it broke, and that's okay. We're gonna work with a smaller coil. Forgive my slippery cardboard. So, okay, so now I have a coil, and with a coil you can do a few things. You can just make designs, like I can twirl this guy up, and then maybe I can use the other coil that broke to make a little snail. I can make a little snail guy with him and mold it the way I want. Okay, or if I get it a bit thinner, just a little bit thinner, I can start to make a bowl with it. I'm just coiling it on top of each other. And as you can see, it's starting to build up. Now, obviously, I've run out of coil here. I would just have to take another coil. Maybe a little bit one like this. There we go. It's alright to work in a small workspace, but yeah, do what you gotta do. And I'm just gonna lay it on top of each other and see how it's just gonna coil up and keep making that bowl shape. Okay, so I've shared a few ideas with you guys, and I can't wait to see what you make. So get to work and have fun. Bye.